Hello and welcome to the Ictric Studio Sports Network for the 2013-2014 BCS College Football Playoff Selection Show. On your screen now you can see the teams ranked 6 to 20. Some pretty good teams are going to have to wait until next year to get another shot at the national title. Now let's see who made it and who just missed the cut. Let's start with the number one team in the country, and unsurprisingly it is undefeated Florida State. The number 3 team is defending national champion Alabama, which makes the number 2 team the SEC champion, the Auburn Tigers. Finally, who was the last one in and who was the last one out? The number 5 team in the country, and the first one out, is Stanford, which leaves the Big Ten champion, Michigan State, as the number 4 team after a victory over formerly number 2 Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game, to rise an amazing 10 places in the polls to make the BCS College Football Playoff. Now let's get into the games. Let's start things off in the Fiesta Bowl with a battle between state universities, with number 1 Florida State taking on number 4 Michigan State. The scoring starts midway through the first on this FSU 1-yard Devontae Freeman touchdown run. Florida State adds to its lead later in the quarter with this Willie Holstead touchdown reception. Michigan State responds early in the second with this 1-yard touchdown run. On their next drive, Michigan State fumbles and the football is picked up by Florida State. That turnover led to this Florida State field goal. Then later in the quarter, Jameis Winston hits Nick O'Leary for a 9-yard score. Florida State leads at 24-7 at the half. Florida State adds to its lead in the third, hitting Holstead for another score. Early in the fourth, Florida State scores again, this time on a long bomb from Jameis Winston for his 4th touchdown pass of the day. Michigan State would score again later in the fourth with another touchdown run. Florida State still wins it 38-14 to advance to the BCS College Football Playoff National Championship game in Pasadena, California, against the winner of the Iron Bowl rematch between number 2 Auburn and number 3 Alabama in the Chick-fil-a Bowl. And speaking of the Iron Bowl rematch at the Chick-fil-a Bowl, we now move on to it. Auburn starts off the scoring with this 3-yard touchdown run. Alabama responds with a touchdown run of their own, but theirs is just a tad bit longer. Auburn responds to that big play with a long drive capped with this 5-yard Nick Marshall touchdown run. They then close off the first half with this field goal to go up by 10. Alabama closes the gap to 3 with this 13-yard A.J. McCarron touchdown pass to DeAndre White. They then take the lead with this 80-yard touchdown pass to Amari Cooper. Nearing the end of the third, Auburn cuts the lead to 1 with this field goal. Alabama would respond with a A.J. McCarron quarterback sneak touchdown in their following drive. The Alabama defense then comes up strong, breaking up this option play and scooping up the errant Nick Marshall pitch for a turnover. That turnover led to this Alabama field goal. Late in the game, Nick Marshall looks for a receiver on the sideline, but the pass is picked off, seemingly closing the door on any comeback opportunity. And in fact it does, as Alabama wins by 11, 31-20, to advance to the BCS College Football Playoff National Championship game against number 1 and undefeated Florida State. The National Championship, the big one, undefeated number 1 Florida State led by Heisman Trophy winner Jameis Winston versus number 3 defending national champion Alabama. Alabama and A.J. McCarron start the scoring midway through the first with this touchdown pass to Kenny Bell. Florida State would cut the lead to 4 with this field goal. With Alabama in the red zone, Florida State would pick off an A.J. McCarron pass and return it all the way to the Alabama 21. That turnover ended up being costly for Alabama as Florida State cashes in on it with this 3-yard touchdown run. At the end of the half, Alabama would find a receiver deep to take a 4-point lead heading into halftime. Florida State would take the lead once again late in the third with this 21-yard Mario Ponder touchdown run. A.J. McCarron would throw his second pick of the day as he looked deep on a 1st and 10 early in the fourth. That interception would turn out to be uneventful, but this one would not, as Florida State returns it all the way for the touchdown. That pick sealed the game as Florida State wins it 24-14 to claim its first national championship since 1999 and their first of the Jimbo Fisher era. Thank you all for watching. You can click one of the annotations on the screen to see one of my previous college football playoff videos. Please like the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And thanks again for watching.